Welcome to Behind the Story with Naomi and Lisa. My name is Lisa Renee. I run the Collab Press and I'm also a contemporary romance author.
And I'm Naomi Craig, author of Ezekiel's Song, biblical fiction. We had a fantastic interview with some of the ladies from your collection, My Funny Valentine. Can't wait to share that. But first, do you have any updates, Lisa?
Yeah, well, I've just busy doing some stuff for the Collab Press, helping other authors, got quite a few editing jobs. So Tabitha does some editing for me. She's busy, got all this other writing stuff on. So I'm actually doing some of the editing and a bit of coaching with some newer authors and cover designs and stuff like that. So that's been a bit of fun. But I have a team of um, people that help me out. So we sort of share the load.
Yeah, well, that's neat. So if you haven't, we haven't talked about that for a while, but if you're an aspiring author and you're looking to indie publish, then the Collab Press can do editing, cover designs, formatting, all kinds of fun stuff to help you self-publish. If that's something you're interested in, drop a note in, and Lisa would be happy to answer any questions or point you in the right direction for getting yourself on the publishing map there.
Yes, and I'm trying
Uh,
to convince some of my critique partners, Tabitha and Naomi and others and Sarah to get into self-publishing. So we'll see how that goes. So what have you been up to, Naomi?
Oh goodness, it's been a busy couple of weeks. It's been a while since you and I have actually been here face to face, huh? Because we did the summer programs or sorry, the August programs, July programs for on Instagram Live and stuff like that. But still coming down off of the launch for Ezekiel's Song and trying to wrap up all of the prizes and stuff like that. And also got a few days left to finish off. By the time this is published, this will be turned in and I'll be able to breathe easier. But I'm a few days away from getting my book about Shira polished and ready to be read because it was pretty rough. So I greatly appreciate you and Sarah and Donna, our critique partners, for all the input you had on this one, because this one was hard. I don't know why it was such a hard one for me. I just felt so interrupted at parts and I just couldn't get in the swing of it. So I think you guys saved the story. And so
Oh,
I'm so
thank
thankful.
you. Well, yeah, I really love this story. I just think they just keep getting better and better. So
Oh.
whatever all that hard work is, it's paying off. So well done.
Yeah. So yeah, I had some pretty exciting things happen with Ezekiel. First week and pre-orders, I had over 300 copies ordered.
Wow.
And I'm already even just a month in, I'm at 70 reviews and on Amazon. So I'm really thankful for everyone who's taken interest in Ezekiel's Song. And yeah, I'm so thankful that it's blessing people as it blessed me in writing it. So
Wow, that's
without
awesome.
with without readers, we couldn't do it. So this show is for you.
Yeah.
Books are for you. It's all for you.
Awesome.
So
Okay, well, we've got some My Funny Valentine authors coming on, and we're going to have fun with a dating game. Basically, there's 25 plus full novels in this box set, and today we've got a few authors, and later, just before the release in February, we'll bring on some different authors in different time zones. So let's read the blurb. The heroes are deliciously imperfect, but the way they love will leave you breathless. It's a good thing no one ever said that the path to happily ever after would be easy. Inside the pages of this laugh out loud rom-com box set, you'll find heartwarming and binge-worthy full-length romance novels filled with flawed and hunky heroes, sassy heroines, mixed signals, accidental attractions, dating disasters, unexpected twists, and huge jaw-dropping gestures to help balance out their many wrong turns along the way. You'll be cheering out loud for Mr. Right, and finally he'll get it right. From secret admirers to best friends hoping to become more, to exes dying for a second chance, to fake relationships, to mistaken identities, there's something for everyone in these all new standalone contemporary romantic comedies from your favorite US Today best-selling, award-winning, and rising star authors. Ladies, thank you for joining us on Behind the Story.
Thanks for
Hey.
having us.
For those who aren't familiar with this collection, it is 25 plus full length, sweet and clean romantic comedies on sale for 99 cents in the US. We are honored to have 5 of these books represented here on Behind the Story. We're going to do kind of a bit of a different episode tonight, where we interview these authors as if their characters were in a newlywed game show. But of course, most of them haven't gotten married yet, so it'll be dating. So anyway, it's how my brain works, but we're going to have fun with it tonight. We're so glad you're tuned in for tonight.
Yeah, we're going to have some fun. So first of all, each author will introduce themselves, or if they're co-writing, both of them, and just tell us quickly a blurb or a little bit about your story. So first up, we've got Casey, author of Mum Squad. Casey, share a little bit about your book.
So my book is about Aniston, and these lines pretty much tell it all. This is the first of my blurb. In a matter of minutes, I gained 2 kids, a house, a dog, and a hot doctor farmer guy for a neighbor. I never anticipated being a single mom, but I did expect to get pregnant first. Never in my wildest dreams would I ever have imagined taking custody of my niece and nephew, let alone moving back to my hometown.
So what are some of the tropes that are in that one, in Mom Squad,
Yes.
Casey?
Little bit of insta love attraction, obviously single mother, fish out of water. She kind of escaped her small town of Apple Cart, Alabama, and now she's forced to come back because she's taking custody after her sister's untimely death of her niece and nephew, after not coming home hardly any over the past 10 years. So, and he's a doctor. He's kind of like the single guy in town that everybody wants to fix up with someone. And so there's a little bit of, that out of her league type thing going on. And so.
Excellent. Sounds wonderful.
Thank
So
you.
next up, we've got Cindy Ray Hale and Flirting with My Billionaire Enemy. Cindy, tell us about your book.
Hi, so I'm Cindy Ray Hale. My book is about, obviously, it's an enemies to lovers story, and I have a little tagline here. When the guy you rejected at the club last night turns out to be your boss at your new job. So obviously this is about her going to the club, and she sees this guy and hears that he's this kind of bad boy player kind of guy and hits on all the girls. And of course, she's out with her cousin, and she has her do like a makeover. And so she normally is, she's a writer, so she's very bookish and likes to be in her pajamas and wears glasses. But this night, her cousin's made her over, and he tries to hit on her and she rejects him. And then the next day when she goes into work, he doesn't recognize her because she's got on her professional wear and she's got on glasses and her hair's pulled back. And so I don't want to give away too much more, but it's definitely some fun. And I've had a lot of fun writing it.
Yeah, that sounds like a great setup, great premise. Cool. I do want to ask for spoilers, but maybe offline I'll ask you.
So I do want to talk, some of the tropes are like enemies to lovers, and then returning home, and billionaire bad boy player, office romance, and it is interracial romance because she is Iranian. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Got all the tropes in there. Yeah, just that's what you meant to do.
Return to home. That's what I couldn't think of.
Cool.
Wonderful. Well, it sounds like a great read. So next up, we've got Lisa Renee, and her co-author Tabitha was not able to join us tonight. But Lisa, tell us about Forget Me Not.
Okay, so Forget Me Not is amnesia trope. This is the first time I've done this, so it was really interesting. So we had to do a little bit of research. Also, it's the first book doing a married couple. So they're on the honeymoon. The bride has an accident parasailing, hits her head. You don't really see the gruesome parts of that bit, but she wakes up in hospital, and yeah, she's forgotten her husband, but she plays along because she hates hospitals. And then she gets back to the honeymoon suite, wakes up in the morning and freaks out who this guy is in her bed. And the guy is an Australian. I am the guy. So that's fun. There's a few little Australian things in there, you know, a few no worries, mate, and little Australian jokes that the Aussies will get. But yeah, was a blast to write. And there's a bit of a runaway bride scene in the beginning. And yeah, basically the amnesia trope is the main theme.
So you write all the guy perspective and your co-writer, right? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was lots of fun. Yeah. And because the Australian American difference and time difference, we got it done in 2 weeks. Like nighttime, I'm sleeping, she's writing, she's sleeping, I'm writing. So it was like, yeah, it was lots of fun.
Awesome. So that Tabitha, we missed you here, but we'll keep Lisa on track for representing your your book right here. And then finally, we've got Carolyn Miller and Meredith Resky bringing us Daring Mr. Darcy. Tell us about your book, your tropes, your blurb. Tell us everything.
I'm just hearing about Lisa sharing about her thing, because we have a similar thing in co-writing. We managed to write it very fast, and because we're familiar with, you know, Pride and Prejudice, it's basically a modern day contemporary version of Pride and Prejudice. It was so fun to write, wasn't it, Meredith?
Yeah, look, never mind about sleeping. I'd be writing because I do relief teaching at school. So if it's all quiet, I'd plug in my USB and away I'd go. And then I'd email it to Carol, and by the end of school, she would have written another lot. And so it's like, pressure, just keep going. But I think we did it in about 2 weeks as well.
Yeah. What helps too when you've got a really familiar story, that
Yes.
just made it super fun. So I guess some of our tropes are the whole enemies to lovers, and you've also got a bit of billionaire, except it's not quite billionaire. He's just a millionaire.
Oh.
But you know,
He's got bags money, let's face it. Yeah. So I'm going to read our lines here. It's when the most eligible bachelor in town is also the most arrogant, that's the man to avoid at all costs. If only her heart would get the memo. Your new favourite rom-com retelling of Miss Austen's classic.
Well, there you have it. We've got 4 books that have been presented. Definitely a great bargain for 99 cents. So comment below and tell me which of the 4 books that you would be reading first out of this collection.
Now we're on to the part we've been waiting for, and it's the newlywed game or the dating game for these characters. So this will showcase each character for the book, and the co-writers can answer for their particular characters, male or female. So Naomi, you can ask the first one.
First up, we're going to go with Casey and the Mom Squad. So Casey, who are your leads?
I have Dr. Easton West. Yes, his name gets made fun of. He's 32. He's the hot single doctor at a family practice in town, and moved to the small town from big town of Tuscaloosa. And then I have Aniston Wilson, who is a former travel vlogger, which is blogging with video. And she's trying to figure out a way to make her travel vlog work in a tiny town in the middle of rural Alabama while raising her niece and her nephew.
So which of your dates' housekeeping habits drive you the most crazy?
Oh, well, Aniston has been living in a pink RV by herself for the last almost a decade. So she doesn't really do any housekeeping, and it kind of drives Easton crazy because he's a little OCD.
Okay. And which, what was the first gift that you gave your date?
It's an accidental gift. They met when he knocks on her door to deliver a package delivered to the wrong house. And she's standing there in 3-day-old clothes, non-showered, holding a half-eating pan of cookie cake. And she just shoves it at him and shuts the door. So I guess the cookie cake
This is rom-com, ladies, so at its best.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sounds like a great meet cute. Okay, next one. Who eats more junk food? I think I already know the answer.
I'll let you guess. Who do you think?
We're gonna go with Aniston.
Yes, correct.
I know who is the better cook.
Easton, there's actually a kitchen disaster scene that doesn't end. It ends in a forced remodel. I'll put it that way with a tennis ball. So.
Awesome, cool. Well, next we have Cindy. Naomi, do you want to ask the first question?
Yeah, we've got Cindy and flirting with my billionaire enemy. So tell us about your characters, Cindy. Who are we going to see tonight?
Yeah, so Kason Keith is the billionaire, and he is kind of this playboy. He works for his dad's company, and that's how he is a billionaire. And his dad thought that he was a little bit too like, what's the word, like getting into too much trouble and being, you know, too much of a flirt. So he sends him off to Dubai, where it's actually illegal to flirt in public. And he has to go over there to reform. And, you know, they have like a branch of their company in Dubai. So he goes over there to work for a while. And he comes back home to Atlanta, which is where part of the story is set. And the other half of the story is set in the little fictional town of Blue Mountain. So it's small town. So he goes back to Atlanta, and that's what he's doing, just kind of heading up the finance department of this big real estate firm. And my female main character is Ariana Hassani, and she is a software developer, and she worked for a real estate company, like commercial real estate, and she helped develop a software program that basically cleaned up the program and made everything more efficient. So she got hired on by the Keith like enterprises to like the big billionaire business to help reform their finance department that's like going through some trouble, and she's going to help save them like billions of dollars. And so there's all this pressure, you know, to work together and everything.
Cool. So what's your book boyfriend's best feature?
So definitely his bulging biceps, and every time that Ariana sees them, she just wants to squeeze them. But that could get awkward because that would be unprofessional at the office.
Well, she's working in a gym, maybe.
That's funny. That'll be your next one. Working in a gym romance there.
Yeah.
So who will your book boyfriend say led a more wild life before you got together? I think the answer to that one.
Definitely him, because even when he's in Dubai, he was still holding private parties and trying to get away with, you know, having fun and everything. And her idea of being wild is curling up in her jammies with a good book and a cup of tea.
All right, so introducing Daring Mr. Darcy. So Meredith and Carolyn, introduce your leads.
Well, I'll go first. I wrote the character of Elizabeth Bennett, and she's Australian, and that suited me very well because I know Australians pretty well. She is an environmentalist, like one of those a little bit self-righteous environmentalists, and takes umbrage at anybody who might be an environmental vandal, and she's pegged Mr. Darcy as being an environmental vandal, and so she's written him off before he's even got out of bed in the morning. She is based on the Elizabeth Bennet from the Pride and Prejudice, but of course it's very much contemporary. And an Australian, she's studying in Seattle on scholarship at the Seattle University. Yeah.
And I have Liam Darcy, obviously Fitzwilliam Darcy, and he is a bit of a millionaire, money-making, early 30s guy who lives in a little town, well, near a little town called Trinity Lakes in Washington State. And yeah, he's just, you know, has a bit of fun trying to prove that he is not quite the environmental vandal that Alyssa seems to think he is.
Excellent. So these first questions are for Alyssa, aka Meredith. If your boyfriend could have, or your enemy, your guy could have any job and money was no issue, what would he do?
Well, he would fly around the planet and be a philanthropist. And actually, that is what he does. That's the point. He does have the money. He can do whatever he wants. But he does like to fly around the planet and be a philanthropist. Say the word philanthropist.
So how did his family react when you announced the engagement?
I mean, I'm sure that we actually got to the engagement by the end of the book, but the togetherness, his sister Georgia was like, yay, you know, happy days. But his gran was not quite so easily convinced. She wasn't quite as happy about it.
Now, who would you cast to play Liam in a movie?
Well, tongue in cheek, it would be Colin Firth or Matthew. But then I thought, you know, hey, come on, let's be. And I thought maybe Liam Hemsworth, but then I thought maybe Dan Stevens. I don't know, but we're in that range.
Anyone hot would do.
How will your boyfriend complete this sentence? Alyssa has more something than anyone else.
Well, I wrote it down. He would say, my girlfriend has more heart for social justice and the environment than anyone else. She also has less tolerance for arrogance, and a pinch of patience wouldn't go astray.
All right. Well, let's turn our questions to Liam, aka Carolyn. Which family member of yours does Alyssa have the most in common with?
Oh, definitely Georgia. Considering, you know, Liam's parents are dead, it's got a choice of Georgia, his sister, or his gran. Definitely not his gran.
Okay, so what adjective best describes your girlfriend's family?
Well, what adjective doesn't really? I guess you could say the Bennetts are, to use an Australian phrase, as mad as a pack of cut snakes. Yeah.
And what animal does your potential grandmother-in-law remind you of?
We'll go with mother-in-law for this one. Seriously, she's just, out of this world. So is a banshee an animal? If so, that's what Alyssa's mum just reminds me of. Anyone that screams a lot. So there you go. Good times.
What type of student was she in high school? So A, honor roll all the way, B, mostly B's and C's, C, pass by the skin of her teeth.
Alyssa is definitely on a roll all the way. She keeps getting these scholarships, so she's pretty smart.
All right, very good. So we're going to move on to Lisa, and you'll go ahead and answer for Tabitha as well for Forget Me Not. Tell us about your characters. Who did you write?
Okay, so I wrote the Australian, Adam, and he is a sports physiotherapist in Australia. He sold his business to come and marry Melanie. They met online. She liked all his posts on social media, so was the biggest fan, and she helped him get into the market. He started selling protein mixes and vegan products, and she's a vegan, but after the amnesia she forgets all about that kind of stuff, and he doesn't want her to be vegan. He loves his meat, so that's quite a fun little thing throughout. Melanie, she's a marketing guru, and that's how it sort of worked out together for them to join forces with the business as well. So yeah, that's she's from America, and basically she had moved recently to Trinity Lakes as well, this little town, imaginary made up town, but she forgets that part as well. So she does try to visit her old house near the coast and finds that, her family isn't there, that maybe he is telling the truth.
So Trinity Lakes, just a side note from both of you, is that's for your next series, right? Or one down the road?
Yeah,
Nice.
we've got a series coming out next year. So with
Oh, so we get a
of-
preview. All right.
Yeah, sneaky peeks.
yeah.
All
So
right.
there'll be some scenes in Trinity Lakes. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, well, these first questions are from Melanie. So what date did your spouse ask you to marry them?
I don't remember because I've got amnesia.
Okay, what movie would best describe your relationship, your marriage?
50 dates.
All right, we're going to move on to questions for Adam. So who snores the most, Adam?
Melanie snores the most, but she plays the amnesia card and says she forgets and she can't remember herself snoring. So,
and who eats more junk food?
well, Adam would say that Melanie eats more junk food, and basically she's vegan, but don't tell her. And she has a sweet tooth. Yeah. So Melanie, she's the one that eats more of the junk food. I need to look after, I've got this YouTube video channel and I'm representing health. So I need to say trim and fit. So I'm a buff dude.
Well, that would be so awkward to like have amnesia and then suddenly you're married. Like there's got to be lots of fun and crazy and silly things happening in that. If you have had, this has been fantastic. Thank you all for joining us here on Behind the Story.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, it was fun.
This has been so fun.
Yeah.
Yay. Yay. Well, if
Thanks
you
for organizing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Our pleasure. If you've had fun with this episode, like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we're so glad that you tuned in for our crazy, fun, romantic comedy edition of Behind the Story.
Yeah, and don't forget to order My Funny Valentine. It is an amazing price for only 99 cents, and you're getting over 25 full-length novels, full rom-coms. They're sweet and clean, and basically the whole group, some of them are US Today authors already. We're going for the US Today. So if you can order on iBooks, Kobo, or Nook, we would like to get our pre-orders up for that platform, but we're also on Amazon.
And it comes out on Valentine's Day of 2023. So My Funny Valentine, get it now. The link will be in the description. Thank you for joining us on this edition of Behind the Story. Until next time, let us run with endurance this race set before us, looking unto Jesus, the author and finisher of our faith. Thanks for joining us.